a lot of driver's ed, companies and instructors and courses in this country don't teach this. I don't know why. Some of them maybe do. I'm sure there's some somewhere. But most new drivers are not taught this skill. I have some suspicion as to why, but I think this is one of the most important things you can learn as a new driver. And this is something I have taught people how to drive in my family. And this is something I teach everybody. It's one of the first things I teach you after you just do like the basics, just like the basics. So we're going to drive. Probably won't be that long a video. I'm going to show you what you need to practice and like how to do it like safely. Okay. And what I'm talking about here is slamming on the brakes. There are so many scenarios in which you need to slam on the brakes, and it is something that you should practice because it doesn't come that intuitive. Most of the time you don't have to slam on your brakes, and you need to be prepared for it because you need to feel how fast a car can actually like stop when you slam on the brakes. To me, it can only be safer if you know the full capabilities of the car you're driving. Like if you have never really slammed on the brakes and you're not familiar with slamming on the brakes, you might not know that most modern cars on the road, like around 30 to 40 miles per hour, most cars you slam on the brakes, they stop like almost instantly. Like almost all cars, even SUVs. Like cars stop really fast, and that can save you. I've been driving a while. I feel like I've avoided a lot of different accidents. It is my opinion that the vast majority of accidents, when you get into a scenario where you have to take action to avoid an accident, most of the time, slamming on the brakes is towards the top of the list, if not the best choice for avoiding the accident. And if you don't slam on the brakes, you will get in an accident. There have been scenarios where I slam on the brakes and the accident was avoided, and I think if I didn't, I think it would have been an accident for sure. You know, somebody's coming out right here and they just come out, boom, slam on the brakes, you're good. If you don't, you're gonna hit them. Okay, so it's not that complicated. But look, I'm trying to give all my advice on this channel. So how do you go and practice this? And by the way, I think it's perfectly fine to go out and practice this. I'm not telling you to go out and like drive 100 miles per hour. In real world driving conditions, there are perfectly valid reasons to slam on the brakes. You're gonna have to slam on the brakes. So you don't have to feel like you're doing something wrong. Right? And like, even if you go out here and practice this, and even if for some reason a cop saw you, I'm gonna be real. Just lie. Be like, oh, I saw animals coming. I thought a deer was about to run out into the road. I saw it. It ran back into. Like, I can't imagine they're gonna give you an issue for slamming on the brakes. It's not like you're like doing a launch or like drag racing or something. You just, if you give them a reasonable excuse, then I think you're good. Don't tell them, hi officer, I'm out here practicing like how to slam on the brakes. I don't know what kind of ticket they can give you for that. Like, it's perfectly valid. Now, Sean, how do I practice? I'm gonna assume you need to be told how to do this the right way. Step 1, don't do it with cars behind you. I got cars behind me. They're pretty far away, but I'm not just gonna slam on the brakes. We need clear open roads, so we need to go find some clear open road. Okay? Should be some up here. So in your area, you need to find some road that is pretty much deserted. Now, if you live in a populated area, it might be hard to do that, right? Because there could be cars kind of all the time. So what you want to do is wait for a particular time of the day. It could be early, could be midday. Wait for a time when there's nothing behind you. Now, the two cars are behind. Oh no, they're still following. I know the road's over here, so I'm gonna make a left over here. It should be good. And speaking of slamming on the brakes, you see where this car just turned out? You can also make a left here, of course. The other day, there was a car trying to make this left here, and they just pulled out, and both cars from both lanes had to slam on the brakes. If they didn't, it would have been a horrific accident, T-bone. I was following like one of the worst drivers I've like ever seen, ever. Let's see, can I go over here? This'll work. So this is a good place to start practicing. Start with low speeds. There's nothing behind me. There's nothing going on. So I'm going to go to speed limit 25, and then I will slam on the brakes, and I'll show you guys. Ready? Of course, the dash cam's going to go off. Now, you see how fast I stopped? Now, if you're driving a stick, by the way, you have to master the muscle memory of pressing the brake and the clutch in, too, so you don't stall the car, by the way. So watch. 25, watch how fast this thing stops. Almost instantly, and that actually wasn't even a full brake because I noticed there's people up here doing work. Let's get up here. But do you see how fast the car stops? Now, it's good to practice this because it's muscle memory. Like, let's stop again. I'll just stop in neutral to make it easier. Now, I don't know if you guys could hear on the camera, but there was a little grinding noise. That's the ABS. So if you slam on your brakes and you hear like and feel this grinding noise, that is the anti-lock brake system engaging. That's a good thing. It means it's working. The anti-lock braking system keeps the wheels, if you didn't know, I'm just assuming. When you slam on the brakes, if you didn't have anti-lock braking system like on old cars, that's why. Have you ever heard like pump the brakes? Maybe you've heard of that, maybe you haven't. If you slam on the brakes on old cars, what happened is the whole wheel would lock, and then you get like a little tire smoke. The tire would stop spinning, and once the tires start like spinning and sliding, that's when you can lose control of the vehicle, right? Because maybe the front wheel locks up, but another wheel doesn't, and then now you lose control. The anti-lock braking system basically like modulates the brakes for you. Even though you are slamming on the brakes, it backs off and backs onto the brakes just enough so you don't get the wheel spin, and not the wheel spin, the tires won't lock up. And the main benefit of that is that when you slam on the brakes, the car should stay nice and straight and you won't spin out. But see, this is why you have to practice this, so when you go to slam on your brakes, you're not like alarmed, because you might feel some grinding. I don't see anybody behind me, so let's do a little faster stop. Don't love doing this to my brakes, but I love you guys. So, all right, we're gonna be going 40. Let's see how fast we can stop from 40 going downhill. Ready? Okay. I didn't fully stop, just in case. Did you hear the grinding? That was the ABS kicking in. The ABS really had to kick in there. If there's no ABS there, the car would have fishtailed. But see, from 40, you stop pretty fast, right? Practice this. Practice this when there's no cars around. Like, you need to make sure there's nothing behind you. Obviously, low traffic areas are okay. I've actually never slammed on the brakes from 60 in this car because I've never had to. I'd be curious to see how it does. I'll do one. It's going to be pretty violent, but let's just do it. All right, ready? All right, you see? Again, I don't want to come to a 100% stop. The car stops fast. But not only that, you practice this a little bit, and when it comes time to do it, you're not going to be afraid. You're not going to be afraid to slam on the brakes. You're not going to be like, oh my God, like, what do I do? And if you want to become a performance driver anyway, you're going to have to learn to slam on the brakes. Practice this skill, and you won't be afraid to do it. I feel like there's got to be a lot of accidents that happen every day because people just like, they have no experience with slamming on the brakes, right? Like, that has to be a thing. Don't you think that's a thing? I would think so. But keep that in the back of your head. Now, last thing I'll say, and we'll be done. Look how fast the car stops. Like, yes, this is a little bit of a performance car, but it doesn't have like super performance brakes. It's just a WRX. It doesn't have Brembos. The car stops fast. So if you see an obstruction, you can probably stop in time. But also important, you need to be playing your mirror, because you're going to have to make a quick calculation in a scenario where you're going to have to slam on the brakes. if there's a car behind you, you might have to make a judgment call. Sometimes you have to slam the brakes no matter what. But understand, the car's going to stop like fast. And if you have someone behind you, if they also don't immediately slam on the brakes, which, take a guess, you think the average driver behind you is going to have a fast reaction time or a slow reaction time? Ooh, a jet taking off. That's fun. Can we see it through the sunroof? Yep. Take a guess on how the reaction time of the person behind you is going to be. It's not going to be great. So, look, it can be a no-win scenario. But just keep that in mind. If you go to slam on the brakes, the car's going to stop really fast. And if there's someone behind you, just make sure they're not that close. Okay? Because there's a good chance they're going to hit you. Okay, so go out there, find a nice safe road, no one around. Test out your car, doing it, a handful of times, 3, 4, 5 times. That's good enough. That's good enough. You don't have to do more than that. It's going to really teach you the capability of your vehicle. It's going to make you a safer driver. I think every new driver should be forced to do this. I suspect like driver's eds and stuff like that don't want to deal with this because, I don't know, maybe they think it's just too much, But it's an essential skill. If you drive long enough, at some point, you're probably going to have to slam on the brakes, okay? So go practice it. It could save you. And that's all I got for now, so I'll see you guys in the next video.